Yo, what's going on, friends? What's up? Carolyn, you're not the anonymous caller, are you? Last 10 people in Saskatchewan are all in here at the same time. I gotta do something about that ending. Hold on. Had me right in the middle of a nose-blowing break. Welcome in. It's Saturday, everybody. There's plenty of great content out there. Nietzsche has a couple new uploads in the last couple of days. Mike has a couple late-night live streams. Really well done. Focused around some of the statements in this uncensored, this missing Jack and Lily Sullivan uncensored group. And of course, it's a group that has all of the players commenting underneath just different posts and things like this. There's a lot of nonsense, goofy posts, a lot of posturing, a lot of people that want to cozy up and pretend to be friendly with the key suspects, and all of this is quite disgusting, but interesting at the same time. No, Carolyn Hudd, you don't know what that's all about, but you know that Eastview area is not as that woman said. I actually didn't. I only listened to the transcripts. I'm tuned out. I've tuned that knob out. It's getting more bizarre by the day, Amanda Graham, you're saying. Have you seen the latest nut job to come forward? Oh, tell me, who? What are you talking about? Let me guess. There's another. Oh, are you talking about the alleged report to the RCMP about somebody throwing clothes out of a white van and it having something to do with Jack and Lily in that sense? Is that what you're talking about? Somebody from the Pick 2 area? It'll be Daniel and all his buddies. All his associates. Speaking of associates, hey Kent. Hey Kent from It's a Criming Shame. You're a bit of a douchebag, dude. You're a bit of a nut yourself. How long have you known Daniel? How long have you known everybody in the background there? And I know he's probably a bit special, but that's the last place he needs to be, is up there trying to pretend to be objective on their goddarn live stream about this particular case. You're a bit naive, son. Cindy Curry, good to see you, darling. That uncensored group should just be called Unhinged. Oh, yeah. Listen. The whole point to having a group like that from Daniel's perspective is so you can try to keep on top of things, so that you can have a place to disinform. We have to remember, he's a boyfriend. He's an associate in all of this. He's not... It was disinformation since the get-go. He's not the kid's father. He wants you to look... He wants it to look like anything but what it actually is. You're not related to the kids. Okay, you fucking moron? And you're trying to actively stifle all of the Jack and Lily's blood relatives out of the picture that particular day on May 2nd and May 3rd. I thought we'd talk a little bit about that douchebag. What's her cousin's name? What's Daniel's cousin's name? That tubby broad. Oh, I mean, she's thick. What's her name? Logan. Thank you very much, Christian. Well, I can't put myself in the spot. I can't remember her name. It's not like I didn't know it. I just couldn't remember it in the moment. Distracted, I guess. Listen, that's what he wants you to do, Lindsay. I'm not even putting up with that shit anymore. I'm calling it I'm letting my opinion be known in that sense. I don't even want to bother with that motherfucker. Dude, you're up here to mislead people based off of... You're the whole reason people and suspects come here, you stupid idiot. You believe anything that people fucking tell you. Did you see that video? I saw this video where he's welcoming people and talking about how fantastic it is to live in Canada and Nova Scotia. This guy is just a real zipperhead. You watch a little bit too much CBC, son. Detached from reality. Brainwashed. Makes me curious about the things Kent was so immediate in discounting and Warren. Now that we know and we've made that connection in that sense, you don't have to be too hard on the guy, but now that you know he's been outed, he's outed. He's outed himself. You know, there was a time maybe way back earlier on in the circumstance where it was okay to be a little bit confused because of the information that was available. Not at this point in time. And this, what is this channel again? Hidden in the Fog? Fuck you. What a fucking idiot. You know, what side of the fence are you going to be on here? That pisses me right off. These are unimportant. You have no real sense for what is important in this circumstance. You just want to make something important to get some clicks and views over at your channel, and you'll play stupid. But she's probably a really nice person in real life, I'm sure. In real life. Fuck your shit. The side of clout. That's the side of the fence hidden in the fog zone. And it's kind of a catch-22 because, you know, in anything else, go ahead and do it. But listen, not when there's a situation with 2 children missing. You just become a target of all of the tomfoolery in the background. That's what she's purposefully trying to make herself, it seems. Lindsay, that's okay. I understand completely. I told him to stop. I can't keep defending him. Who are you talking about? Oh, Logan. Who are you talking about? Oh, Kent. Sorry. I'm too many conversations going on in my head at the same time. It's okay. I hear you. You can't keep defending him. Why were you defending him? No, you're purposely putting yourself up there. And it's not just to, you know, get clout. You're up there to steer the conversation a certain way under the guise of being objective. Really just taking up people's time. Glad your fucking shop burnt down. Good to see you, Lindy. Good to see you. So, Mike's been covering this over at his channel, I guess for quite a while, but without actually going up there. So I was finally made my way up and back up into the group, but I'm like, oh, I guess I already am a member here. So I took a little bit of a brewski, a bit of a peruse around, and there is a lot of kind of somewhat funny things. But I noticed a spot here where Belinda Gray and Lori Green were talking. And you're both saying the same thing. Maybe I missed something, but I'm going to read it. I'm going to have a little look. This is what it looks like. This, how should I do this? Hold on. Figure out how to do this. There we go. This is Callie Gibson's post from September 10th at 9 a.m. She's such an all-star. She's an all-star contributor. Congratulations. But this thing has 438 comments on it. I recommend if you go up there and join to go and partake. I've left a few comments. I left a couple troll comments around too. Thinking that, knowing full well that dumb bish, Janie sitting in that trailer, that conspirator at this point in time. Hold on. I'll be right back. Just a second. Getting my fridge raided. I forgot I left it. Left some things in there. Hello, Lori Green. Good to see you, darling. But I knew full well that Janie was up there scrolling through things, you know, stressing out in her trailer. About to have a nervous breakdown. An emotional breakdown. What are you talking about, Rob? This again? Oh, you're already over in Mike Demands, talking all about this probably. But there's so much more. There's so much more that you guys haven't covered in this, obviously. But the most interesting part of it was what Daniel Martell's initial response was to it all. It got me thinking about him. And then he's so eager to share the updated adaptation of his story underneath and let everybody know in a run-on sentence what occurred that night. Like, what a fucking tool. Dude, You're putting in an extraordinary amount of work to try to fool a small amount of people in this circumstance. The more that you do, the worse off you look. It also tells you how desperate he is. He's so up and down emotionally. And you can see that in this particular post. Good to see you, man. Osprey, hi all. What am I missing? What's the story on Kent? Oh, nothing. Just actually should go over and take a look at that. It's not even worth talking about. But the suspicion is that he's associated somehow to this group of individuals that is a core to disinforming in the background at this point in time. Most of them aren't very smart. But you don't have to be to lie, right? It's not about that. It's not about intelligence. It's about being able to prove these individuals are lying in real time. Based off of, for over here, it's, you know, a lot of the statements that they say. Or just shitting on Kent, that's all, Rob. We're just taking a little moment out of the day to shit all over Kent. Kent, you're a shithead. And I'm glad your shop burnt down. It's probably through neglect on your own part, stupid. Maybe you should have fucking made it a little bit more safe electrically. Or was it Jewish lightning? A little bit of an insurance scam inside. That's hard to believe. You're calling him a useful idiot in this circumstance? Oh, absolutely. Always there to interrupt the people who are trying to make a statement, whether it be pro or con or either side of this particular fence. It's becoming more clear to me, not that Malaya isn't culpable in this circumstance, about where the divide is between Malaya's side and this Martell bunch. And Logan, it's interesting to go back and listen to Logan's earlier statements and how she talked about Jack and Lily and the circumstance and the kid and the avoidance and the distancing language, and that speaks volumes. And not to mention that who the fuck is she in the moment to be swooping in, making it look a certain way at that point in time, offering to take your kid. That's her term. I could take the kid. Like, she didn't think much of Malaya. And by the way, you didn't have any sort of relationship because you were trying to get into her phone before Cindy stopped your punk ass and got the fuck out of there. You guys just murdered 2 fucking children. That was the problem. That would be isolating for Malaya. Malaya had to get separated from that situation. And I'm suspicious that Logan knows a whole lot more and was being used by Daniel preemptively in this circumstance. Talking about how her dad was crying over these kids. Bitch, you sound like that stupid bitch in Saskatchewan. Compare voice to plumber's wife, all 3, Logan, ? Ann Warren says. You're onto something, probably. But, you know, it's not even... They all sound alike in the sense that they are all using the same lingo, the same rhetoric, the same phrases, speech patterns. Distancing language, priority in that as well. It all comes back to making Daniel look innocent in this circumstance. Now, a fucking Ray Charles could see what the hell is going on here, and that's no offense to Ray Charles. To steal a quote from Dennis Rodman. Or was that, no, that's Scottie Pippen, sorry. Oh, that's where I first heard it from. Excuse me. Stupid. I got sidetracked. Sidetracked myself. Good to see you, Brian. Does anybody here remember when Malaya started a GoFundMe and stole a bunch of money? Brian, when did Malaya... Oh, are you talking about Malaya's friend, Anna? Yeah. Earlier in the beginning of the case, yeah, we covered that here. You have to scroll back a little bit. To think that Logan was going to take the kid. No. She was offering. Because remember, that's their source of income to them. They're fighting over the baby bonus. All right? They want it to stay with Daniel. Now, why would that have to happen? Because they've already treated Malaya like shit, alienated her to the point of offering to take the kid off her while she has to go do whatever she needs to do in the moment. Like, get the fuck on up out of here. Like, who is this broad? Who is this weirdo? So you want a third stranger to come in and steal the next kid? Is that what you're insinuating? Come on. Guys, why would it be necessary for Logan to be taking the child? It's the part of the ego that this idiot Logan has. Man, she's isolated. Carolyn, the woman in Regina saying Saskatchewan is on the west coast makes me think that she's not in Regina. We are landlocked. Yeah, the last thing you think about in Saskatchewan is the ocean. That's not on. Survey says. Wrong. That's right. Not up there, honey. Not on the list. Logan. Hey, look.
Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class.
Yeah, that's a deuce. Oh, Kent and Sonny called you a liar, Brian? Oh boy. What the hell do you call it? What is it exactly that they're doing over there then in that sense? Listen, sweetie. Make me fuck. It's almost not even worth mentioning. It's not worth mentioning, but you can always shit talk them a little bit in my chat. I'll always read that. Malaya's friend Cheryl is involved with the new fundraiser with Kent. Oh, fucking right, new fundraiser. I heard over on Mike's channel. The lines aren't so clear. Hey, you too. Guess what? At least thank you guys for giving us something to focus on in the future. Unethical. You guys have no reason to be raising funds. None whatsoever. All right there, OJ? Oh, boy, why don't you just put your face on a t-shirt? Sell that for $25. $50 more like it. I'm dating myself. What year am I leaving in? I have to up that. Now, markets are pumping, though. As I go live, it'll probably be different. They'll turn around by the time I get off. Let's see. Good to see you, Belinda. Let me see here. Kent and Sonny called Brian Sutherland a liar. Well, I say to them, they can go fuck themselves. Good morning. Doing a quick catch-up. Hello, Joyous and good to see you, my darling. Malaya's friend Cheryl is involved with the new fundraiser with Kent. Oh, fucking right. Kent, you're involved with the new fundraiser? Are you going to be the face? Face of the new fundraiser. You're such a shit show, pal. So you're going to go around and start associating this obvious murder, double murder of two innocent children, and you're going to try to associate it to an illusionary trafficking ring of some sort with really no evidence other than your imagination? Because you've become too friendly with the suspects and you're drunk with Borg level fucking insane power in your own mind? Now the question is, why would any of these sick people do any of this? Is disgusting. Shauna. Yeah, we're way down that tunnel already. Lindsay, I hear you though. Let me see. That's a good statement, Lindsay. Thank you. Logan taking the not taking the kid. Logan was gonna take that kid. I grabbed her fucking phone and I put my number in the phone. Well, you're gonna take her kid. You guys weren't even friends at the time, so now you're gaslighting her. Using the situation like Daniel is to gaslight her. There's an ulterior motive going on in the background. And Daniel loves to do the old switcheroo in there. And hold on, by the way, have you ever considered, with all of the water references throughout all of this, early on in those statements that Daniel gave, and he says this, mentioning of being the Daniel he was when they first got together for that walk on that beautiful sandy beach with the waterfall, reliving his first date, I believe. You can from Malaya's perspective in the situation, you could look at that as a veiled threat. A veiled threat, which would be making it worth mentioning in the public eye, as obscure as it is to the onlookers, which would be the cryptic part of it. But it's a message that's always out there to remind Malaya about the repercussions if, you fail to live up to the obligation of staying silent in the circumstance. Or staying silent and not associating them to anything at that point in time. Holy shit. Jackpot. Joyous End. You see that? See that, Daniel? That was all. Or you, Kent? Kent, I just made $50 off talking shit about you, boy. You're a huge douchebag. There's another one out there. Thank you very much, Joyce, and it's very gracious of you, darling. I would donate to get a cadaver dog to Jack and Lily's case, but only that. Listen, in regards to this, friends, no matter what, these services are insanely expensive, and you need to do a lot better. It's not a bad idea in the end, but you're simplifying it in your own minds. You need to come up with 5 strong places that you need to use them at. Have all your information there as to the reasons why, and then start around it. It has to be a valid reason. It's just not a service. The guy's going to show up for a case of beer and run his dogs around there. These are highly trained. It's an expensive operation. So, I mean, if you're going to do it, you have to have a reason to go and actually search the place. And a reason to search. Not just let everybody know that you're coming and then really get the bleach out and scrub everything down extra nice. But the point is these assholes, RCMP, should be doing that way ahead of the game on that. All right? And do you know what, by the way? Remember I was calling them assholes earlier, wondering if they were using this geospatial low Earth orbit satellites and these balloons up with the eyes in the sky? Well, they did, actually, because I saw it in the paperwork in some of the redacted paperwork in that sense. That's what old Daniel calls classified technology. It's not classified, you idiot. Look at the zipper head. Carolyn Hud, yeah, you feel it was a cryptic message to Malaya? Yeah, you just feel that way. I'm not telling you one way or the other. I'm just offering up a perspective, knowing full well and that you're all highly suspicious of Daniel being involved in all of this. And all of this talk away from people, especially that particular day. Like, there's really no reason that you need to talk in private with anybody when you're desperate looking for kids. Why so secretive? You know, as soon as Malaya's family sees all that and sees how their daughter is responding to you in real time, you're berating her. You're talking down to her in that circumstance. But what else is new? You're a tweaker, dude. You can't control yourself, and you can't control yourself around the children, and they were an extension of Malaya in all of this. Oh my God, there's Belinda Gray. Hello, Belinda. Good morning. Let me see. Good afternoon to you, I guess. Daniel wanted to be the Daniel she met. No, that's the one he just kept convincing her he was. That is me. What are you talking about? Like, first of all, what does that even mean? By the time she's saying that to you, you may as well shoo her on the hell out of there. Who's keeping you? But knowing the monster he became, she was gone real quick. Well, that's what happens when you're on the mathematics, when you're doing the Tina, the Jib, the Crystal. Truthful, it helps to keep Lily and Jack's faces everywhere. And to me, that doesn't hurt, even if it doesn't help. What are you talking about, Belinda Gray? It helps to keep Lily and Jack's faces everywhere. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know, I understand. To you. Don't mind us. We're just talking shit about your friend Kent, Belinda. You and Kent are really good friends, I hear. I'm just kidding you. Let's see. Slim Pickens. Good to see you, by the way, darling. 100% meet me at the waterfall. Could be very well implicate evidence of Malaya's complicity. It's a little reminder for her to shut the fuck up. I'll be doing the talking here, and that's probably what Daniel said to her in the ambulance. And every time that he needed to steer her away from Cindy in that circumstance, that's her own mother, for crying out loud. And you're telling Cindy to get the fuck away? Get the fuck away. I'm trying to intimidate your daughter in front of you. I'm trying to coerce her into staying silent. I'm trying to traumatize the fuck out of her like I've just been doing here in the last 24 hours or so. And I'll be doing the talking here. And you're going to shut up. And so is Cindy. And he tells it like like he's watching some picture from a movie and he's describing it. Talking about touching the windshield, telling Meadow how much he loves and misses her. Any opportunity to make it look like he's an overly emotional person. The fact is you're not even touching close to natural human emotion in all of this. You have to go out of your way to tell everybody when and why other people are crying at any one point in time. That's gaslighting, bitch. Janie, you listening? Yeah, I was trolling Janie up in this chat room, going in under people's comments, and I said, Janie, if you're looking at this, you're trash. I know that she's going to see that. I didn't even tag her in it, though. Didn't want to. Just wanted her to know that I was watching her. I'm watching you, watch me. Watch you, watch me, watching you. And Warren, what are you concerned about posters for at this point in time? Just something that keeps people busy to make it feel like they're doing something. In my mind, they need some good advisors around there to the Crown Attorney's office. Allow him a little bit of breathing space to figure out how in the hell he's going to do this no-body prosecution. You have to build. The deception has always been there since day one. That's a good thing. If you're looking for building a case against them. Oh, maybe that's what they're going. I know what you're trying to tell me, I think, Ian Warren. Federal support for missing and children initiatives. He's trying to get a little bit of that free government money under the guise. You know, that's probably what he's trying to do. Absolutely. There's a big conflict of interest here because they're all associated to the suspects' assholes. We're going to have to make sure that we let them know that. Although I'm pretty sure it's not a secret. It's not like it's a big secret, is it? The fact is that when a person is careful to cover up their tracks, they're not obvious and going to leave a smoking gun. And this doesn't smell like an emergency situation, although that they presented it the way that it was presented to them by way of Daniel Martell the entire time. He's the only one going on and searching. Why would you be searching in the bush if the kids never wandered off in there? You know, he's skipping over the narrative that he initially built in all of this when questions come up afterwards. No, Sharon, that's they weren't diagnosed autistic, so it's not really a question. Although, you know what I find interesting about even Malaya using the term, see, I told you they were autistic, in the presence of everybody else that she called over there that day, as though she was blaming the children's suspected autism publicly in front of people in a way to make it, you know, again, put blame back onto the victims, as though that's just a blanket, you know, that's just a guaranteed autistic kids just go and disappear themselves. She didn't put a lot of foresight into that. Well, Pearl, they didn't even want them. They got rid of them. Huh. They're going to start. Is that what they're going to do, Belinda? They're going to go for these digital signs that cost thousands of dollars. Actually, you just call the company and they'll probably give it to you for free, like they did in Tennessee with Summer. Friends out there, don't donate to this new quote-unquote fundraiser. Get in that chat wherever you are and blast them. Stop trying to make it look like you guys are trying to do something, pretending to be virtuous in the circumstance. Fucking disgusting. You're branding missing children, putting them, you're putting them on all kinds of items and using it and selling it to the same audience you're giving a guilt trip to. It's a grift. You're a grifter. You're a fucking idiot. And you're trying to associate and put a positive spin again on child murder. Because your sensitivities can't handle it. Can't handle the truth, especially talking about it. Yeah, it's not even, Amanda Graham, it's not even worth talking about. They weren't autistic. Has nothing to do with anything. How would they know? They never even spent any time with them. Now, what are you saying, silver, gold, and guitars? You have a pawn shop? Sonny, thank you for a waste of time. These people don't even try. They spew bullshit. Absolutely, that's true. That's true. Peter McKay lives in Hopeville. Are you talking about the former defense minister? Super powerful peeps in Pictou County. Oh, because Peter McKay's out there? I wonder if he's still banging Belinda Stronach. Power couple. Canada's power couple. Oh, fuck. Ty was banging Belinda Stronach too. Ty Domi. Now, anyway, it's drama, neither here nor there. Faces of Pictou County, Peter McKay. probably got there because the land's so goddamn cheap. I was thinking about that as well. What's up, Lori Green? Good to see Jen Robin Michelle. Why can't I see that green? I got a filter on here. I'm looking. That lady from Regina, Saskatchewan, saying how she was 100% that yeah, this was so ironclad, right? That she's seen Lily, which we all know that is garbage, and she sounded just like Daniel's cousin Logan. Absolutely, to a T. Do you want to do a side by side? Absolutely. Logan doesn't even sound like she has the East Coast accent, but you can see it subtly. She can dial it down quite a bit. I've noticed. I was just listening to it before I came live, and I'm like, you know what? Should I be going live and even talking about this? Because it's, even if it is, even if it is, it just goes and affirms what we already suspected. But it's really, really, they could have been sisters. It's really similar. I got it pulled up in the background. Thank you very much, Jen R. You've been generous all of my chat. Carolyn Hudd, Roxanne, I agree 1,000%. That woman is Logan. And by the way, Logan is that Lily Jack account. She's got all of these multiple accounts that are so hawkish when it comes to certain comments in this particular uncensored group. Logan, you're such a pathetic loser. Desperate much? Are you desperate? Are you desperate for certain attention? Like, she's so defensive about what she perceives about this case to be. What's true, what's not. How the fuck would she know? If you're such a great mother there, Logan, you can't recognize the line here. See, Daniel's ex-wife can recognize it. She won't allow the kids around him. Everybody recognizes it. The sensitivity areas in which they don't want to talk about, where, they have a lot of distancing language, avoidance. It's all over the place. And the more that you go back and rewatch it, the more stands out to you. The time to give these fools the benefit of the doubt has long passed. They're so bothered about what people think about them, too. That's just fun. That's funny. Good. That's a bit of the shit that comes along when you do stuff like this, you lot. You guys are fucking idiots. You find Logan to be so rude and aggressive, Christian? Absolutely. People have mentioned that when they went to take a look. I think Belinda mentioned how rude she was as well. How overly protective she was of the suspects in the moment. Oh, it's just little Miss Busybody. Think about how much of an idiot mother you really are. You actually have 3 children, and you can't recognize the dangers in this circumstance. That says a lot. See, now's the time to be a little quiet and not answer your phone. Be away for a little bit. Yeah, you find Logan to be a nutcase, Rob? Oh, yeah, absolutely. She isn't. Well, that's one way to put it. She can't wait to correct people in here. She can't wait to correct them and twist them, but, it's a little suspect. Not a little, a lot. Salty Suspects. That's a funny name. Where is that? Adventures of an Old Sea Dog? No. Adventures Underwater. UK. Where's Logan? Right down here. Logan!
How's it going, everybody?
Logan,
I hope you're all good.
Hello, everybody. Hello, it's me from Adventures Underwater UK. Give him a thumbs up for this one. If you guys in the future are looking for this particular live stream, I'm putting it in my chat as we speak, like right now, right there. Blop.
On Friday, when that's how much of, well, she did, so
Whoops.
went low.
Well, I really jumped ahead.
YouTubers and so on.
Hold on, let's listen here for a moment. Let me put my old noise-canceling earphones on. Get the full effect of this. I'm going to get the full effect. And who else? Not hidden in the fog. We should go over to Ninchi for this, shouldn't we? Where's Ninchi? Whoops. Dee. The Fake Witness Act 1, 2, and 3. She put a lot of work into this one. I'll go back to 1 just to get some voice clips.
That allows me.
Let me see here. That way we can have something to reference, right?
Did you not consider someone?
No, I did not consider
missing
that.
The most obvious signs that this is a complete utter fake.
Could have at least used a voice changer. You should have used a voice changer. Like a gremlin.
I am going to go through the audio and take you through it step by step to show you why it is so undoubtedly a complete utter fake.
Why I share this is, while it's important for police to issue missing person reports,
Listen to how stupid this is. Her answer to this is just so fucking stupid, it bothers me. I'll get over it. Hold on.
it's my belief that it is equally important to promote and publicize those people who firmly believe that they have seen a missing person,
Oh, fuck. No filter. Let's do it live. No filters. Talk about opening yourself up to the abyss. Anybody can call in, give her a story, and she thinks it's important to pass on to you no matter what. She thinks it's just so important to misinform the public. That's what you're really saying with that, honey. That's exactly what you just said. Like, I can excuse you for not knowing that before, I guess. But I have a hard time believing that you're up there at this stage of the game, not doing this on purpose. You're just finding an excuse and talking around what you're otherwise doing. All right? You're exploiting the circumstance. You're exploiting the situation. You're exploiting the safety that police and investigations naturally have and just hold it against the police, thinking that these bunch of individuals are just being too secretive. No. Oh, fuck, thank God. Hidden in the fog's here. Now we'll really get something done. She's got some really, really maverick tactics, what'd you call them? She's a real trailblazer. Dude, that's just admitting to what you're sharing is going to most likely be wrong, and you're just not going to be able to tell the difference, and that's the intent, isn't it? You want to muddy and murky the waters. You want to not focus on the obvious and the things that are stated out there and start incorporating a bunch of wacky theories that are designed by the people and the suspects to avert and dodge any sort of further suspicion, raising new possibilities. Oh, like you do in murder cases like this. Double homicide. Oh, yeah, it's got to be something else. Oh, yeah. I just met these guys. He seems like an okay cat. Let's listen.
person that's been reported as missing. it's so important to promote these sightings because there may be that 1% or that 0.5% chance.
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
That the person who says they saw a missing person, in fact, did see that person. So we share this with just that information for you.
Translation, it is open season for any kook who wants to ring up and claim that they've sighted these missing children, because they will get an audience regardless of whether or not they are being truthful.
I just said that, Ninchi. I just said that. How dare you? Thank you very much, Joyce. And that's very, very generous of you, gifting out memberships like that. Thank you very much, darling.
This is not an ethical way to approach coverage of a case. It encourages all the nutcases to come out of the woodwork.
Hey, nutcase.
And
well, that's fine. They'll fit right in then. Here, let me introduce you to Logan.
Like I said, it could potentially jeopardise the case, and it could cause serious emotional distress for those people who actually...
No, if it wasn't so stupid and outlandish and obviously false, it might. Nice try. Maybe the next one will get better. They've had a few runs at that, kicks at that can this week.
Living this reality.
And to put it out there so that if anybody else witnesses this man and this little girl, or
yeah, if you guys are watching Men in Black, you know that dude in the beginning with the alien living in his mouth? Yeah, that guy. It's that guy. Oh my God.
or also witnessed this, it may serve the police in their investigation.
You know, she doesn't even, she sits there and talks around and justifies all of these reasons to disinform everybody, when she could have just given you a disclaimer and said, you guys aren't going to believe this shit. Some nut just called and they want to talk about it. You want to have a good laugh? Or listen, this is a false report. Or she could have taken the initiative in that sense and done the right thing. But instead, she wants essentially everybody to believe her because of that 1% possibility. No, that's just you admitting to being fucking stupid. All right? That's just that's you admitting to the world that you can't determine the difference. You can't tell the difference. Because you're not that evolved. You're not that sophisticated. God knows why. Maybe you took too much drugs in high school. By the way, who was up there? What did I see that? I could have sworn I read something in there that was a statement. Not that I hold it against somebody. We'll get to it when we get to it. We'll get to it in a few minutes. Hold on.
I just had to share this because this is actually making a very, very valid point through humour.
Polar vortex, yeah. That is humor.
I'm from Saskatchewan too. And I saw Lily just yesterday. So I called the RCMP and they said they know where Lily is because Durwood found out. And he told them.
Oh, hey, JJ.
So no worries.
I appreciate you, darling. I appreciate
Once you
you.
introduce an open policy of accepting all these tips, regardless of whether or not there's any veracity to them, then you are opening up a whole can of worms.
Or not.
Yes, we seen her, like I actually conversed with her. So I
actually conversed with her? Okay, there we go.
Just like I have. So yeah, I got it off Michelle after dark, so please go and check her channel out. It's a good channel. And this is Daniel's cousin. So yeah, Daniel Martell's cousin, speaking to a few different people. I'm not sure exactly who everybody else is, but yeah, Daniel's cousin.
Sorry. No, go ahead. Did Mom ever, like, hey, I just find it so odd. You would think, did any of them ever make the statement that they wanted to look for the children, or did she make a fuss saying, like, I don't want to leave until I find my kids?
No.
Really?
No. So that's what I stated as well. Because when I got there, I said, do you want me to stay with the baby? You can go look. She goes, I'm going to stay with the baby. Okay, said whatever. So I went looking. So that was the next thing, was when she was told that the baby had to leave the residence.
So if that's true, they told her that the baby had to leave the residence because of the potential danger involved. That would be the danger that that's you, Daniel, or Janie. That's not the random bear walking around at night. So she was told that they were drawing a line at that point in time from the perspective of children's services. And they said that we're not allowing there to be a baby in that shit rat's nest hole, that dive of a fucking trailer that Janie used to live in. And nor are we going to allow it to live in that 35-foot RV in the driveway. Well, that poses a bit of an issue then. So I wonder what Daniel and Malaya then talked about. Listen, bitch, you're going to stick to this story or I'm going to come after you. He would have been gaslighting her about how much trouble she's in this circumstance. We can see what's going on here. Kent can't. Kent doesn't get it. For a person who's so fucking objective, I think he's objectified himself into just like a state of confusion. You're a disgusting individual, Kent. You're a disgusting piece of garbage in Pictou County. Nothing that you're doing in this circumstance is a positive step for bringing justice or finding Jack and Lily. You're not really interested in any of that, though, are you? You want to be a talking head in this case, you're going to have to keep up to a real man, son.
She's exactly told she did not have to leave the residence. They just wanted the baby off the residence, from the residence. As like this whole scenario isn't something a kid should be a part of.
A search for a missing child. That's just ironic, isn't it? So that's Logan going a bit far. That's a bit of a leakage into just how much of an idiot she is, actually. Oh yeah, is that all? You're providing the justification and reasons as to why child services were saying that they weren't allowing the child back into that house, considering the circumstances they're all in, and you're trying to put a positive spin on that. That's you overlooking the fact that Jack and Lily are missing and they don't want to really talk and they're not around. They're exercising physical avoidance. And there's Logan trying to be the liaison, offering up, oh yeah, sure, I'll take that free monthly check. Sure, you guys are just dropping kids left, right, and center here. I guess I'll pick one up, no problem. You're the one that just tried to traffic Meadow, Logan. You just tried to traffic Meadow. You wondering why they're being so standoffish? You're wondering why they're looking at you a little funny? It's you who has no idea what just happened and open to be believing anything that you hear from the suspect's mouth at that point in time. Oh, he can't be guilty. He's my cousin. You're fucked. You all are fucked in this circumstance. Can't believe you get in front of the TV and just blatantly bullshit like you did. Playing a little reverse psychology with the RCMP in that sense. But, you know, you're not fooling anybody but yourself and showing your own ignorance into how investigations really work in that sense. You're the one focused on whether or not this is a missing or criminal It's always been a criminal investigation. Probably not handled correctly because you guys were careful to cover up and destroy evidence while this was all occurring. You took advantage of the RCMP giving you the benefit of the doubt in the moment. And that, my friend, looks the same every single time. The lack of evidence when it comes to children and them going missing, the lack of evidence and cooperation and behavior, it is I got distracted. Ann Warren, former search and rescue, former garage and tow truck operator, lost his leg, prolific volunteer, especially in race car events, and well connected in the community. Oh, Kent. And you're still a fucking idiot. These are all self-proclaimed. What nickname have you given yourself, Kent? What is it you call yourself, you big fella? Stumpy? What do you call yourself, Kent? What a fucking idiot. Have you seen that commercial? Looked like the commercial for a goddamn sex offender pedophile ring. That's what you seem like. You seem like a pedo, Kent. How about that? Why is it that you act just like a pedophile? Why don't you answer that for the community? How do you handle that question? Yeah, the scratch on his face on May 2nd is probably from Malaya. That's a little bit of a brouhaha they got in May 2nd in the bedroom probably afterwards. Daniel, why did you and Malaya break up? And why is it such a sensitive question? Why is it an area of sensitivity, I wonder? Well, I have the answer to that. You're saying that, Brian Sutherland. I can read. It's just that, where happened to Brian? Did you delete your comment? Hold on. I hope I didn't hide him. If you did, that was an accident. If I hid you, that was an accident. Brian, say something in my chat, brother. There he is. Oh, he retracted it. Okay. You fucked with me. I was right in the middle of reading it. But I was right in the middle of something else too, so I think you got me there. He's still here. Never mind. It just said, Kent's a huge douchebag. I mean, huge douchebag. I think you're eating too much McDonald's. You know what, Kent? You should have run like a copper wire in a clothes hanger all the way from like outside your window, put it down in the grass and run that 14 gauge or whatever you have up through your window and put it on, or just fray it a little bit and touch it every now and then. Keep yourself grounded.
So the baby was going to come to my house. So she's never been apart from the...
Says who? So Logan, who was saying that the meadow was coming to your house? Daniel? Oh, that's a great idea. That way he can get it back, have a little bit of income every month. Listen, why all of a sudden does it skip ahead to Logan? Logan, nobody ever considered Meadow coming to your house, unless it was for like half an hour. Why were you so eager to traffic Meadow in that circumstance? Because you're saying that CPS told them that they're not allowing Meadow to go back in that home, but it was okay to go and stay at Cindy's. That doesn't say that they're all concerned of the danger being Malaya, now does it? It says that they're concerned about the crazy bitch that lives in the RV in the back, which would be Janie, and this stunned cunt on your screen right now, Daniel. This tweaker. who admits to abusing drugs throughout this entire time while the two victims are now missing and presumed dead. And Daniel is publicly pretending to be mad because somebody in this random group chat asked the question to a bunch of other peoples about why Malaya and Daniel broke up in the first place. He's so sensitive to all of that because he's an abusive motherfucker, and he was trying to get away with having this hardcore addiction to methamphetamine and sustain this long-term relationship. He's doing all kinds of evil things behind her back and in front of her. Because you're a liar, Daniel. You're a monster. And that showed. That's what the drugs did to you. There's no ever going back to the Daniel that was the first day that you met Malaya. He was a real fucking trustworthy individual, wasn't he? Using Malaya as a band-aid. Getting her hooked to the glass dick. Thinking that you were going to have your cake and eat it too. You could continue on with abusing these substances because you didn't have to keep it on the down low. The old lady was hooked on them too. That way you could support each other through this process that's misrepresented in the media. And Jack and Lily fell to the wayside. You admitted that already. But you want to blame somebody else as opposed to yourself, because when the questions get hot, that's Malaya's child, not yours, isn't it? But when the questions come in, you want to take full accountability for how fantastic and concerned of a parent you are at any one time. So you can't have it both. And you've recorded yourselves stating both. It can't be both. Yeah, Malaya is to blame. But we're talking about you. We're talking about Daniel and his culpability level. You're the only one lying. Why do you have the need to lie at every turn? It's difficult to manage. It's really stressing Janie out back there. It's making her dog lose her hair. Amanda Graham, you think that too, Brian? They're all related somehow? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Osprey, they're all related. Wade said something about it, talking to Tint. He said he had family in the RCMP and Children's Aid. Don't need to say more, in my opinion. Well, what does that mean? Actually, to be honest with you, in my experience, child workers are fairly open when you're in person, when you're talking about something in a circumstance. Even they break that. Like there's no vow to client secrecy in that sense, like there would be between you and a doctor. No, they're fairly open in ways that are telling, because you can tell what it is that they're avoiding, because they're not allowed because of privacy in certain ways, but you can put it together. They're usually fairly accurate. Oh, much love from Cape Breton Island, Norbeaster. It's good to see you. You were going to say, I wonder if Janie has a hairless chihuahua, but that sounds rude. Ooh, gross. No. No, she doesn't. Joyous and Daniel and Janie are unstable in your opinion? Well, great observation. Understatement of the year. They look like two thieves in the night. Every time, they're so sensitive about every question in the circumstance. Wanting to steer you back towards, no, I already said this, or I said this, and therefore it means that. And it's always about how they couldn't have anything possibly to do with the disappearance. That's their priorities in all of this, right? That's what really bothers them in all of this. Shouldn't bother you one bit. In fact, you should recognize it and do the right thing in that circumstance. We're all here. It's like sitting in the interview room. We're right in the middle of a little game of chess. Daniel and Janie are fucking up. There's no way of ever taking back those mess ups. Ever. Put that in the pile. That's working against you there, Daniel. Big time. There's not one part of this where that leaves a person to question whether or not you have something to do with their disappearance. Listen, you son of a bitch. You are the last two son of a bitches to see them alive. You have everything to do with it. Everything.
The baby. Never. Like, she's meadow. So I said, you're more than welcome to come too. If not, I am comfortable. I have 3 kids of my own.
Give me your daughter. Give me your baby. You're more than welcome to come too. But if not, go about your business. It doesn't even seem like a plausible scenario. Why the need to offer up your home at that point in time, Logan? Your nasty ass rat's nest. Crawling with fleas and lice.
Like, Malaya, I can take care of this kid. Like, I can take care of the baby, no problem. So first the baby, it was just going to be the baby, and then she decided she was going to come with me. So, but then something changed, and we were at the briefing. Her mother said something to her, and then I had to take everything out of my car and put it in her mother's car. And like I said, she had this whole plan, like she was going to drive her car into my house. Mm-hmm. And she was...
Well, she was making a decision on her own until Cindy had to step in and say enough is enough here. They were suspicious of them from the get-go, and there's no way that you need to be around this family anymore. You know, she said enough is enough, like she should have done in December when she got called off of that U-Haul escape plan. KO, they are so annoying, complaining that Malaya was attached to Meadow. Yeah. What's with the attachment? I mean, the fact that you've got a 14, 15 month old baby. I got a surprise for you. It's always all about the baby. It's a very special time in that circumstance, especially to a mother. And you guys want to make it look like everything Malaya does is bad, and because she's guilty of making it look like you guys are guilty in rehoming these kids because you like to pretend that you don't know what happened to them. We're telling you do know what happened to them because your language tells us these things. And the inconsistencies and the straight up blunders make it rather obvious that the story that you came forward with doesn't resemble anything close to the truth or a reality. And by the way, the fact that you're in and out of sleep, just sleeping at any one point in time in the middle of the fucking day, therefore not responsible for your kids, and admitting to at least the minimum, the very minimum of neglect tells everybody that you're hiding something far darker. We know what that is. How long was it before they picked up Jacqueline and Trezell West? I think we're going to see something like that here. Can't wait to see that perp walk.
And then the plan changed. Oh, I'm going to take the car to my mother's. Like, I'm going with my mother. Well, she didn't even come back for the car. Like, the search and rescue had her car towed to wherever she was.
And so, and then, and so, and then, and so, and then, and then, and so. So, again, we have Logan exercising the same sort of pattern of bullshit and lies that we know. One came from that bitch out who says that she's from Saskatchewan in the fake Lily sighting. So she's leading you down the path in order to have you observe the hole in the Swiss cheese here. When she's the person who should be aligning the holes, clarifying, okay? You're not clarifying, you're obfuscating. You're supposed to, if there's something questionable, you have to make it make sense, not have everybody else. You're presenting the mystery to people. You're gaslighting everybody, having them assume, therefore, Malaya must be guilty in all of this. This is what you're going for, as opposed to Daniel and Janie and everybody else that really is guilty in all of this. And let's not boot scoot around. Daniel, you snapped, didn't you? You snapped, you put hands on, you went hands on. Because you have to what? Kept getting up out of your bed? Maybe the kids were being loud. Maybe they had trouble getting to sleep. What happened around 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. on May 1st? Aside from you smoking the crystal. See, you could go extra hard because of all the holidays that you guys had that particular week. PA day, 2 sick days. You guys were on one, weren't you? See, those sick days aren't for your kids. It's not because they're sick. It's because the parents are dope sick. And you two are dope sick damn near every fucking day. And that's what Cindy intervened about. That's what she interjected herself about. Because the control was going on and Cindy saw it between Daniel and Malaya. There's no need for you guys to be cooperating or doing anything in silence away from everybody else at that point in time. Your behavior was suspicious in that moment. The fact that you weren't around for much of it, none of you, very suspicious. Oh, they must just be here around here somewhere, eh, Daniel? How many days did you keep going back to the pipeline? Got to go make it look like I'm doing something out here again. Oh, I going out to search nightly. Well, nowhere. I think I pretty much got it. No place left to search. We've searched everywhere. I never abused kids. I never hit children, women. Yeah, you did. We're talking about Jack and Lily and Malaya here. You tried to exert your authority over Malaya at all times. You probably forced her into focus on Meadow all the time. It was probably under your orders. Then you could turn around and complain how much time she was spending in there as well. You told her to go tend to Meadow, not spend all her time around her. Meadow. How many times are you going to say Meadow? Why, for somebody who was so... Logan, you can't have it both ways. Getting Meadow... Why would you offer up your time in your home in order to cover for Malaya in that circumstance? Oh, what do you say in my chat there, Belinda Gray? I, for one, think all of these channels, or thank all of these channels for staying with Lily and Jack. The channel that seems to have pissed so many people off that I have been on a few times is missing people off enough to come out. You mean pissing? It just, you know what, Belinda, you probably knew in this circumstance. It's, yeah, pissing. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It happens every time. It happens. Not to mention that it's what the suspects in this circumstance turn it into. They turn it into their playground to disinform. And the focus becomes something other than what the focus should be, which is what to you is Jack and Lily. But in order to get to that, you have to focus on all the red flags within the statements of the suspects in the circumstance. That's the path. But you're way ahead of that anyway. You already know all of this. You're just looking for something nice to say. You think Logan wanted Meadow full-time and Malaya sensed that? Yeah, I think that's where this was going for. Meadow was going to be used as leverage. Okay? So she was eager to get Meadow. That way you could continue the reign of control he was exercising over Malaya. We don't even have to have him admit that to us. We can see it. Cindy saw it. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Bing, bing. I should have a right. I should have a little ding. Do I have one of those? I was right there. Let's see. Yes, there we go. Oh, right there. Oh, thank you. That's self-affirmation. Oh, I make myself feel so much better. Pumping up my own ego. Oh, God, you are so right about all of this. Yes. Oh. Yes. But that's really what it's about. Logan wants to be all a part of it now. Now she can get all in the mix and get, some sort of sense of fulfillment from doing the right things. In a situation she's got no idea about. In a situation of double child homicide. Hey, Deborah, no such thing as the white van theory. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the facts of the matter. What about the stuff found on the side of the highway by the toll booth? What about it, Lori? Lori McNutt? What about it? You tell me. You tell me what it leads you to believe. Because are you believing everything that you're being told? Is that what the issue is here? Are you trying to get me to talk about it? Not about it. It's nonsense. Just like the people who fucking presented it. We don't have to wonder what happened to Jack and Lily at this point in time. We don't need to be open to all kinds of weird new theories. We're already at the right spot. You're not defending Malaya? How dare you, Kelly O? She obviously failed Lily and Jack. Yeah, you can get too general, though. But I don't think she'd hurt them either, just my opinion. You don't know her. You don't know her, do you? Maybe you're not familiar with the effects of drugs. The drugs made her disassociate, especially from her former relationship, which she was made to feel bad for by Daniel, because he's such a better alternative at the time. That stock dropped. Yeah, she seemed like a nice enough woman until she got with Daniel. Then it went downhill. I think she has her struggles with substance abuse. I wonder who introduced that to her. I'd be curious to know. We knew who kept controlling her with it. That's Daniel. Daniel can't let Malaya go because he will have 2 child support to have to pay. Well, to not pay, he can't pay because he's off on stress leave. Too stressed out. It's okay, he was lazy anyway. That's what I hear. Daniel hurt Lily and Jack on the regular. Absolutely he did. Yeah, absolutely he did. You don't need to explore any other avenues when you start recognizing the signs of abuse. You need to further your questioning into the reasons why and how surrounding that abuse. And it's not just playing too hard with Tonka trucks. Oh, that's a vicious cycle, Kale. It's not about being depressed and then getting on the meth. It's a vicious cycle when you're on those substances. You're up and you're down. You're bipolar in that sense. Depressed is part of that process. Wait till you try getting off of it. You start realizing all the damage that has done to your particular life. That's when the depression really starts to hit. But the good news is it only lasts a little bit. And you're going to have to pull yourself up at some point, you fucking weak-minded bitch. That's what you have to tell yourself. You have to get up and get up. You have to keep on trucking. You've got to make yourself feel better. You've got to do some stretching maybe, some walks, exercise, better diet, drink more water. But of course, you're never going to be thinking about these things when that shit has its hooks in you. You'll know about it when you're off of it someday. Daniel doesn't want that day to ever come, though. Yeah, their demeanors look like they Christian, that they might be having a difficult time at home. You know, pictures can be deceiving sometimes, but they did look a little bit too thin. It's because they're being fed, you know, by overpriced fast food and sugar. It doesn't make for a very good complexion because you're replacing all of the nutrients with a bunch of trans fat from really bad cooking oil. You can read Daniel like a book, Amanda? I can read you like a book. He's really easy to read. Well, it's a little obvious. It's a little obvious. So the book's wide open in that sense. The fake crying and contradictions. The man is evil. Well, it's exacerbated after the fact. If there's anyone that should have shut up, it was Daniel. But he couldn't because he had to keep the bullshit illusion going for everybody to sell it to them in the moment. It's what the point is, was asking everybody over to help. Help you what? Help you what? Like, what more do you want? You got a huge search party there, a huge search team. You need everybody over there. To what, avoid them? Fuck, they didn't know what to do, so they started entertaining themselves. And then when Janie heard it, like the Grinch who stole Christmas, he's like the Grinch out there. She fucking loses it when she hears people laughing. What is that noise I hear? These people are meant to be sad. I just ruined their Christmas. I murdered 2 children. What is it I have to do around here to crush the souls of everybody, I wonder. But yet the laughter continued. And the food must have been just spectacular. But it was all gone, nothing left for Janie or Daniel. They had to fend for themselves because they were avoiding the area the entirety of the time people were over there for this little off-Broadway production.
Because they left the car. That's how much of a hurry that was to leave.
They were the only clear thinkers. They had a lot of time to sit around their Malaya side, a lot of time to sit around and bounce ideas off each other. And when they took one look at Daniel, a person that they knew that he was high. And you're spending just a little bit too much time in that bathroom like you do when you're trying to get high. Then she confronted Daniel, and that's where things kicked off. That's really interesting. I wish I was there to see that. I can't wait to see the body cam footage. Hopefully it's going to be available sometime in the near future.
Malaya they stayed at the residence Friday night.
And just out of curiosity, because I think you said something and I wasn't quite sure I understood. When did Malaya's mother arrive at the house?
So she arrived Friday. She was there before I got there on Friday when they went missing. I'm not sure the exact time. We all tried to figure that out. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did Malaya's mother stay overnight there?
I am unsure, but she was there in the morning when I came back. So she could have stayed the night. Like I said, I am unsure because I didn't stay at the residence that night. I went home. And Daniel did pass the lie detector test.
So what was Daniel's relationship like with Malaya's mom?
From what I understand, Malaya's relationship with her mother was never great. She didn't want to live with her mother. So Daniel's poison is, from what I understand, poison.
Daniel and Cindy's relationship is poisonous. That's probably why it's not safe for him to go to the res. Because they know what you're doing to her daughter. They hear it. You know, as much as, you know, Malaya, 27, 26, 25. She's a young 24, 25-year-old eager to escape the confines of the safety of her nest with her mother in this sense. Especially that it's not ideal for her after the relationship with Cody. Fuck, she must have been on drugs. She had to have been on drugs. How is it that you couldn't have pulled up to that shithole the very first day and said, you know what, I think I could probably do a little bit better than this scumbag? Oh, but times were probably booming. They was probably working, sweeping the floor at the lumber mill. He's also the man with the substance. He's the man with the drugs, the dealer, the one that had the magic, all the smoke. Must have driven Cindy just nuts to know. And she probably had her phone. There's probably a nonstop conversation going on at all times, under the false assumption that, you know, it'd be like one minute she's fine, the next she's not. You'd have to know Malaya. It'd be interesting to see her history of conversations with Cindy through the messaging, whatever messaging they were using. Like, not to mention what Cindy talks about with Wade. And that wouldn't even be half of it, right? Like, Malaya probably hid a lot from them, but put it and phrased it in just a way to make it look like, no need to react at this point in time, but, but being a little bit more mature like Cindy would be able to recognize that there's a bit of an issue going on. I'm just imagining, though. Thank God for Cindy in this circumstance. Because the control and the power dynamic within that household is poison when it comes to Jack and Lily and Malaya. Look at how you're portraying her at this point in time. She was never good enough. She was always lazy. She was never looking after Jack and Lily, and in place of nothingness, Like she was just a tenant or something. Okay, as opposed to an active partner in a healthy relationship. The whole point into being in a relationship in this circumstance is to take all of the load off. But you were too preoccupied in, getting off and making new babies that you couldn't afford or pay for.
Like he always said, and he said this in his interviews over and over again, is every time Malaya got ahead in life, her mother pulled her back. So we'll just go with that.
I just find it strange how.
What? So the priority is to make Cindy make Cindy look like some sort of overbearing parent who's preventing Malaya from actually going out and getting ahead. That's completely counterintuitive to the whole maternal instinct, isn't it? Why is such a fantastic mother like Logan so easy to undermine what should be of utmost importance to her in her life with all of her brood? And that being the motherly instinct. First thing real mothers do, in my experience, is highlight the bullshit no more than what we're doing here, even within their own. What evidence do I have from Malaya's activities, Ann Warren? Are you asking myself? Or are you asking Logan? I don't know what you mean by that. You have to elaborate.
The grandmother would convince her daughter to leave
the residence
instead of staying with her to look for these babies.
That woman has never shed a tear the whole time she was there. My dad even stated that. He goes, I cried. Like my father cried and cried and cried. This is a 55-year-old man. And he cried for those children. And
he cried for those children, which he didn't. The fact that you're bringing this emotional, extenuous information, I guess. But in my mind, it's more of I don't want to get too sidetracked.
that grandmother didn't shed a tear.
Now, I know you can't speak on Daniel's behalf, but what does he really truly believe happened to these kids?
That's something that he has stated all along,
Something that he's stated all along. No. He refuses to linguistically commit to anything in this circumstance. Anything. No. Quite the opposite, Logan. Quite the opposite.
It's something that has to come from him. Honestly, he wanted.
She ran out of her own statement. Oh, that's something that's got to come from him. Like he said all along. She was about to defend him. But then when she realized that that's kind of the opposite of what he was doing in the first place, she got nothing. You got no meat. No context to add because what you were spouting is false. Now, why is she so eager to be defending a double child killer here? What a risk to take. What a risk to take to your own family. You think that jumping to his defense somehow is going to make you safer in the event that he snaps on you?
He believes they were. I think he believes that they were picked up by now, like that they were abducted.
Picked up by now, like they wandered around all of this time and somebody just randomly picked them up and took off with them, like right on their Hollywood. No. What makes you say that there, Logan? Why do you say these things?
Because there's no sign of them in the woods. He doesn't believe they're in the woods.
So he really doesn't believe that mom had anything to do.
So very careful not to directly answer or directly have a real opinion. That would be the first thing a group of people would come to, is a common opinion on what in the fuck we're looking at this point in time, not introducing a couple small possibilities of the what ifs. That's what you've been championing this entire time, including telling everybody that the kids voluntarily walked out that house into a freezing cold environment with no fucking clothes on 20 minutes ago, and nobody can find them in the time. Like that's actually a thing. But Daniel, you turn around and spend weeks, even up to this point in time, wanting to dive that mystery home. Never even once said the stranger abduction theory. Even if you do at this point in time, it's an adaptation. One, it's something that you should have thought of right away. But you didn't want to really give anybody direction. That's why you avoided this scenario the entire time. And you've got a narrative. You've got a script. And this is what you had to keep reinforcing to Malaya. Just trust you this time.
With it.
That's something I don't know, because like, you know, you always have your line of doubt, right? Like you always have your theories and your things, so I can't speak on his behalf on that. Like,
yeah, I understand. It's just, I just know that they both used each other as an alibi and in the morning in regards to the situation.
Absolutely.
They tried to. The problem is that Janie's the alibi here. The problem with Janie is that she's contradicted herself on TV and on all these Facebook messages. Janie really dropped the ball. This is not the world's strongest alibi in this circumstance. In my opinion, it's no alibi at all, especially when you're talking about, it's just a loose SOG story. There's a script, and she went with it, and that's all that her job is in this sense. I think that's the way she's looking at it. You got to protect Daniel. And she's come out and told us. She said she would do anything to protect Justin or Daniel. Anything ever happened to them or was going to happen to them. In that mind, she's just telling everybody that she's protecting her son in this moment, no matter what. Like, that's not a big surprise. But she's also saying that out loud and using it against Malaya in a comparison as to how much better of a mother she considers herself to be. Right? Malaya, you need to be just like me. My decision is the best decision in all of this circumstance. You're not paying attention to your children enough. But they don't want to commit to really saying that directly. Well, they do sometimes when they get too far, but most times it's alluding to it, insinuating it, having you fill in the blanks. Nobody speaks like that. Guilty people speak like that. Malaya lived with Patty growing up, Osprey saying. I think at one time Patty had custody of Malaya, allegedly. That's interesting. Unstable background. All of that's what got her into thinking Daniel was her ticket out. Daniel's a fucking loser. But she already knew that. And she didn't care. She disregarded it. What are you saying down there? Broken Goth Doll. Parents don't take into account how hurtful separation, divorce is on grandparents. Huh? Oh, the children probably suffer being separated from loving grandparents too. Yeah, okay. I guess I can't disagree with you sometimes. I don't know it from the grandparents' perspective. But it hurts anybody who's got a true emotional bond to a grandchild. It's tough on families, right? Stop sucking up to Belinda. That's what you're going for, broken goth doll. Sucking up to Belinda in my chat. Well, at least it's not Daniel. Oh, dear. Unfortunately, Lily and Jack had to live with Daniel and Janie whilst being locked in a pen. True this, Amanda.
And no, I don't believe he believed or believes that Malaya had anything to do with the children missing.
No. Hey, Logan, have you listened to him? You've spent months now alluding to the fact that Malaya must have something to do with it by bringing up all of the questionable, otherwise suspicious indicators that you've mentioned earlier. You're the idiots that alluded to the fact that Malaya has to have something to do with it. Or was that leakage? Was that a bit of leakage from Logan because she's not that smart? Because really, we don't believe Daniel thinks that way either. So we're all in agreement. Yeah, we don't think that. We know that Daniel knows he murdered those children. We know he's being deceptive. Oh, okay, broken. I was giving you a hard time. Unfortunately, bad mothers are out there, Mother Johnson says. Hey, Susan, good to see you, darling. Thank you for the 10 pounds, my love. I appreciate that. Unfortunately, bad mothers out there. My sister kept my niece's dad from her. Oh, his funeral's today. I'm sorry to hear that, Margaret. Life is short. It's a constant reminder. Christian, Daniel didn't respond about that livestock pen up in the woods where he went up to in the kids' woods. He didn't elaborate on that at all at any point in time. Yeah, this whole, well, hold on, don't call the RCMP. Oh, that's when I just rushed up there into the woods. It only took me like 30 seconds. Well, then why mention it? You just want to emphasize the either emotional aspect or the fact that, you screamed until your voice was failing. In other words, these ridiculous descriptions. Because you realize you have to add something, and it's better that you talk about yourself than Jack and Lily because you got nothing. You're trying to hide, omit. You're working on it. These are the effects. Yeah, you certainly didn't talk about that particular pen. The whole place, there are a bunch of little pens. They're all fenced in little pens. Maybe everybody... It seems to me that that's probably like a control freak. Somebody's tweaking out on fencing. Getting high and working on the fence. Just love cutting wood. Love playing with wood when I'm high. Gil Mitchell, I would... you would have dragged your daughter out of that shithole months before. Well, they tried to. When it comes down to it, you can only do so much when they're an adult. They were trying to do so much. You're just looking for somebody to blame, maybe? People, that's natural. You don't have to dish the blame out any further than Daniel and Malaya in this circumstance. We want to know the dynamics between Daniel and Malaya for the 2 years that she lived there. We can certainly guess based off of what we know. And wouldn't you know it, we're going to be absolutely right. But that's only giving us so much. We'd like a little bit more of the meat. And I got a big kick out of people going under these comments up in this Facebook group telling you how, not me, but reading it, somebody will bring up a point or a question and then they'll say it's none of your business. No, it's all our business at this point in time. Every last bit of it is the public's business. When there's 2 children missing, presumed murdered, and the suspects are running around pretending that they're not suspects. Or staying absolutely complete silence. We already know that the story that you presented the RCMP that got this ball rolling is bullshit. You've admitted to this. And that's the only thing worth talking about, because it's after that point, getting to know that point, where you can further get into the arena of a lot of the sensitive areas that you can see float around Janie and Daniel up to this point. You know, think about Janie's sensitivity in that CBC interview. Well, that's textbook. She was real sensitive about something that the reporter asked them. Sensitive for a reason. Because she has something to hide. Now, even though I don't truly believe this, you could even make an argument that she just simply might be rehearsing and retelling a story that she agreed to tell because she's got maybe not a full, complete understanding about what really happened. But at some point when you're laying there in bed at night and you've agreed to go ahead and just talk about the story that Daniel fabricated, you might have questions just pop into your head. But she's probably being conditioned for the last God knows how long from Daniel lying to her. Like he's actively taking drugs around his own mom. Think about how weird that is. You're getting high around your own mom. You're not even out bawling, man. You're not even out kicking it. You're like you're getting high around your mom. And taking out all of your aggressions on the kid's mother. And you look down upon their mother, therefore you look down upon Jack and Lily.
A question that I have is, did Malaya have, or do you know, if Malaya had her own cell phone?
Yes, she has her own cell phone. I've called her on it.
Okay. And Daniel has his own cell phone?
Absolutely, but they're a very open couple.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I was just curious.
I see that. Did you think Malaya met somebody else type deal?
Oh, no, that's not where I was going with this. No. No, I was actually thinking back to when Daniel had said that he had gone out looking for the children and that the police, he had offered up his phone to the police to check the GPS and, you know, all that sort of thing, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Pick a card, limited. Pick a card, limited's in up in my chat. We talked about this the other day. And we talked about it because of something Belinda said. And it was just, I mean, it's still on the table. There's a possibility, but it's something that isn't talked about near enough. Because of the level of all kinds of abuse at hand. But this would fit along with how they would otherwise deal with two children they didn't really feel that they needed to deal with. Says, I have a theory, but don't know if it's already been discussed and dismissed. D&M shut the kids outside for discipline and forgot about them until it was too late. They could both pass the poly. Yeah, well, one, don't put too much credibility in the poly. You know that they're drug addicts. They're disassociated and detached already. The polygraph is just a tool for them at the time, and it's you putting too much credence into it. Don't worry about how they could pass a poly. That's the easy part. Ask why the RCMP put so much credence in it that it is a factor in what happens next. That's a problem. But I mean, it's a possibility. But I think it's much more sinister than that. But you're right. I mean, it's still on the table in that sense. There's a strong possibility. And that's why they focus so much, they over-focus on the sliding door and the fact that it doesn't make any noise. Yeah, it's a possibility. Like, what gets me is how much of an idiot Daniel is in that sense, because he wants you to think that he's got these doors, fixed in a closed position. Like, for example, this particular wrench, when you didn't secure the door, the sliding door, with, the bar in the bottom, so it couldn't be opened. That would be the first thing to do if you're going to secure your trailer in a dangerous area where there's lots of wildlife that could come and just take one of their 400-pound paws and open a door. So don't buy your bullshit statement there. It was a temporary fix to keep the door closed, more like it, because you had a fucking emotional outburst. Because you can't take criticism in that sense. You can't progress this relationship. It's been a problem since day one, since Malaya found out that you were abusing the crystal. Your go-go juice.
No, they do have separate cell phones.
Okay. All right.
And the cops even gave Daniel a cell phone while they took Daniel's cell phone. So,
Right.
no.
Okay.
I don't know, like I said, whatever she has offered up or whatever she has done, if she had a lie detector test or whatever she has done, I can't speak on her behalf anymore because I haven't seen her since literally that Saturday, but I haven't spoken to her since that Sunday.
Uh-huh.
So did it come as a shock to Daniel that she actually up and left him?
Yes, 100%. Because one moment there was an altercation at the end of the driveway, which was me and one of Malaya's family members screaming at each other. And the cops were called down.
See what she did there? Oh, it was Malaya's family members that were screaming at each other. No, that's not how it is there, Logan. Misrepresenting, misinforming again. It was Malaya's side pointing blame at Daniel at that point in time. It wasn't Malaya's side fighting amongst each other. They were throwing shade on you in the moment, and you guys were panicking. Had to kick him out of there because shit was getting too hot. Didn't expect that. You guys invited them all over. Yeah, they were right to suspect. What kind of weirdo are you? You can't find the kids, therefore it's more important that you call everybody to come over to your assistance and do the looking for you? No, there's something more going on. You decided in such a short amount of time that they were missing and never coming back. They're absolutely gone. Therefore, we need everybody here to witness us go through this such traumatic event. Of course it's traumatic on everybody. That's the time to confuse people, and that's why you invited people over. But you were just too high, brother. You were giving off signals, vibes, running around like the tweaker you are. Just humming. Bzz, 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 bzz.
So when the cops came down, they took Malaya aside. They took my mother aside because my mother said she was part of the altercation, which she was. I was as well. And my aunt. We all got spoken to by the police. Malaya.
So how would it be? She's already mistelling this, right in succession. So it's on Malaya's side fighting with each other. And then you introduce your mother, and she's a part of the altercation. She's unreliable, inconsistent. So the real intent here is no matter what question is brought up, just deflect. Just poo-poo it, no matter what it is. She does it to the point where she corrects herself.
Literally told the police officer right then and there.
She's just an utter denier. Such a thick level of denial on this woman.
This is the happiest I've ever been. I feel the safest when I'm with here.
How would that possibly be true? She's sitting there and nobody can find Jack or Lily, and they're missing. And you're telling people that Malaya's on about how this is the happiest and safest she's ever felt? That would probably be the exact opposite. She hasn't felt any less secure in an area where her 2 children just vanished. Stupid. Okay? So why are you telling people the exact opposite in that sense? You want to make it look a certain way. No, the only reason that she would say something like that in such an obvious situation is to deflect any sort of suspicion, because she was currently under duress in that moment.
Here, like, even when she left, Officer Mason was dead shocked, as was Daniel, that she actually left, because she told the officer that it was the safe.
The officer's shocked she left because it's contradictory to a caring mother that's desperately searching for 2 kids that just wandered off, leaving the police to believe that there's a lot more to this story than is being made out. Do you get it? Why are these people so easy to tell you why a cop was doing this a certain way and that a certain way? Why are you focused on that?
If she's ever been. So when
after her mother got there,
that was before her mother got to her.
And I just want to clarify, when you're saying that, she was saying that this is the safest she's ever felt, meaning in your company and your family's company.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah. Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
So,
See, she doesn't want to allude to all of that. You don't want to get too far into that, do you, Logan? Why did Malaya break up with Daniel, block him, file for a no contact order? The person who's actively out there spinning a web, as well as keeping her under threat. Like, you don't need a whole lot more convincing when the guy just murdered your 2 children. Like, it doesn't get any more in your face, any more of you know what I'm capable of type of situation. I'm not saying that's the only reason that she's being silent, because she's also terrified over all of the obvious things that are coming out about the level of neglect. At some point, you're going to have to, Malaya. Sooner than later. She's probably got a fear that they're not even going to take it seriously to a degree. She doesn't want to bother. She doesn't seem like the type of person that's very forward in taking control of circumstances in her life. She thinks by ignoring something it'll go away, and that's what she'll go with. The path of least resistance, if there is such a thing in this.
To know that he got home to go contact her, that he was blocked and deleted, was a complete and utter shock.
how old?
The intent is just to completely deflect away from any sort of suspicion around that there is anything suspect or worth digging into or questioning about the fact that they broke up on that particular day. Like, why would you even try to lie in this circumstance? Oh, it just came at such a surprise. I couldn't believe it. They've been fighting about it forever now. Why does she have to emphasize what Daniel was feeling in that moment? Just such a big surprise. Is she just mimicking what it was she was told by stupid? It's far beyond that for my taste.
is Malaya?
Malaya is 27, I believe.
And Daniel's 30.
32, I believe.
Okay. I just want to mention something. There's 211 people in the room. Could we get people to tap, please, and just boost the channel? It really, really, really...
Oh, God. Guys, stop and give me some thumbs up. Hurry up.
Just tap away.
Oh, and I described Daniel and Malaya's relationship great, to be totally honest. Like,
are you sure about that? You're gonna go on now to describe their relationship as just tickety boo. Nothing wrong with it. That says a lot about your intent. That says so much about how much of, well, in my opinion, an idiot you are, Logan. You're so stupid. You just blindly defend Daniel at every opportunity because you think it's going to get you some sort of brownie points behind the scenes. Man, that's real pathetic, isn't it, Roswell? God bless you. Julia Hayden, how are you, darling? You haven't missed much. We're just in the middle of comparing this voice, Logan's, to that call the other day. That was our point in starting this. We got sidetracked and all the stupid shit that Logan's saying. Let's just bounce back and see what she sounds like.
I live in a small area in Regina, and I was following the story for a while.
Yeah, isn't it interesting how her inflections are exactly the same? And I was following this story for a while. Talk about giving away the whole plot, giving away your plot right there. I've been following this for a while. That inflection at the end. What are you on, Xanax, or are you Canadian? It sounds just like Logan. Logan, Lily Jack, what's going on, girl? Logan is a catfish. She's a queen of catfishing, everybody. She loves to get in the middle of all of this drama. This is Daniel drama. This sounds like Logan.
A can of worms.
Or not. Yes, we seen her, like I actually conversed with her. So I live in a small area in Regina.
Are you sure about that?
And I was following the story for a while.
You know, the ums too. Did I notice Logan doing those ums?
for every time I've been around and been there, they've completely got along. I don't know. Every relationship has issues, but I've never. I describe their relationship as great. Like, they became very close. They had a child together. He raises their kids. She helped raise his other kids. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they sound alike, dude. You have... Oh, they help each other raise their kids? What was that again? Logan! Logan is ridiculous. Why? It's the same channel, too. It's Lost in the Fog. It's Lost in the Fog. What is it? What's the channel? They're now, I'm going to call them Lost in the Fog. You're fucking lost in the fog, honey. All right, guys. All right. All right. Oh, let me ask you. Let me interrupt. Oh, my God. Regina on the West Coast? Yeah, that sounds like somebody from the East Coast describing Regina, all right? Christian, you made me laugh. Yeah. Oh, shit. They sound so much alike. Your inflections. Oh, old Logan, the queen of catfishing. Oh, listen. All you have to do is condition. You're the only one that believes all of your different identities out there. To most people, it doesn't even fucking matter. The fact that Logan is actively out there catfishing is really, really funny. To know that she's all hot and bothered over certain things that are being said in this missing Jack and Lily Sullivan Uncensored Facebook group. Oh, they're really battling up there for the narrative. Fuck. That's so ridiculous. God bless the people who post the reality of the situation up there. If you have the tolerance to even put yourself through that mind-numbing nonsense. It's much better just to go live on YouTube and just tear a strip off them. Dox a lot of them. Not that everybody's bad up there. But if you're a part of the family, that's usually the last thing. Now, Belinda's a different story because she's a victim in all of this. And there's a different dynamic going on because Jack and Lily don't have any bloodkin actively championing for them at any one time in the moment that can, they have to do a little work in court because of probably what's been done in the custody agreement, but you can rectify that soon enough. It probably cost you a little bit of money, but that's what money should be raised for, if anything. some legal counsel for Belinda to take the edge off. You should be able to find somebody to do that pro bono for you, but that would be a worthy cause in that sense. The pond abuse has been normalized in the entire family, in your opinion? Oh, absolutely. And it's different in every family. These people just don't have any boundaries in that circumstance, especially when it comes to other people. We see how they treat other people. Darlene, thank you for the statement. The extent that Logan goes to trying to steer the narrative tells me just how guilty Daniel is. I'll give you a high five. There's a high five. There you go. I love that. That's exactly right, Darlene. Generational dysfunction. Oh, yeah. That too. Oh, Christian. Like, oh my God. Do you like that voice? Let's get back. Let's compare.
It's great. Like, they became very close. They had a child together. He raises their kids. She helped raise his other kid. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, do you guys know what she means? Like, oh my God. No, that's not how it went. She helps raise his kids that he's not allowed to see right now. Are you sure about that? Yes, I doubt that.
It's great. Like, they became very close. Issues, but I've never, I describe their relationship as great. Like, they became very close. They had a child together.
Oh, their relationship is fantastic. They got, that's every relationship. You just described every fucking relationship. Yeah, it was great. They got close, had a baby together. Now he looks after her kids and helps raise them. You know what I mean? Like, God, do you know how it goes? What, like a relationship? That was great. Why are you talking about how great the fucking relationship is when the question was, why did they break up? How did we get from that to here to that? That's called steering the narrative, Logan. The question is, why did Malaya dump Daniel's punk ass? Now, we can see all of the different reasons that might have been a contributing factor, but we want to know her reasons. And Logan is up there in this Facebook group talking about how people are twisting her truth. Do you see how closely attached she is to the truth with whatever she says at any one time when it comes to Jack and Lily in the circumstance, especially Daniel? That's a bit of a problem, honey. There is only one truth, okay? This is the truth that we're uncovering. The one that you're deflecting from. Just another sensitivity. She doesn't like her truth to be manipulated, when in fact the term my truth is a manipulation tactic. It's a manipulation from the actual truth. When The truth to any situation needs to be recognized. It has nothing to do with a person's own truth. That's just a narcissist's way of being self-centered in the moment.
He raises their kids. She helped raise his other kid. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't see any of this.
And has Daniel had the opportunity, since this has happened, to visit Meadow?
No.
So who's preventing him from... Is it Malaya that's preventing him from doing that?
From what I understand, it's Children's Aid.
Sorry, from what you understand, it's who?
Children's Aid.
Well, think about that. Well, she just broke up with him, disconnected, blocked him on all fronts, signed a no contact order. You could probably consider that she would want to keep Meadow away from him, and this is an obvious statement. And it's also Children's Aid. It's all okay by Children's Aid, or they've got the power in this circumstance. Okay, they stepped in. They had to get involved here. If Daniel and Janie and that household weren't suspects, there would be no problem. If they were truly victimized and there truly was a copacetic emergency situation, Child Protective Services wouldn't have had to step in the first place, because there's so many responsible individuals in this family dynamic that it's not a concern. But the truth is, you know, that truth that we were just talking about, the truth is they are not allowing Meadow around Daniel at any point, and nor will they in the future, because he's not going to become any more innocent. The danger is always there, especially because the people involved aren't being what would otherwise be considered transparent enough about the scenario. Too many red flags, too many indicators of deception.
Why would Children's Aid withhold access to his child?
You know what? Even when it comes to, I'm not even sticking up, Gil. You're just trying to get your mind straightened. That you can literally say that every single time a child goes missing and something happened to the child. The problem with you saying that, yeah, there's always problems with the established Child Protective Services, no matter where you live. You should always be involved with them in trying to improve it. But the thing is it's contradictory to why it's there in the first place. But there's a sad reality behind it all. And when you say that, it takes away the responsibilities from the guilty parties at this point in time. Right? No, all the blame needs to be put on Daniel, Janie, and Malaya and everybody in that household. 100% of it. And they can all share 100% of it, 1,000% of it. And that's ironclad, baby. That's ironclad. Yeah. Children's Protective Services are never fucking perfect. They're always manipulated. They're always being manipulated, lied to, exploited themselves. But it's not their fault that Daniel and Jack and Lily went missing. There's got to be tens of thousands of situations like this at any one time. And it's not, you have to understand the dynamic and the problems that they have in order to fix them a little bit. It's always a problem with these institutions, especially now with certain agendas at hand. But you can't rest and sit there and turn to these establishments and then say, do more to protect us. New laws, bring us new laws and more limits to our own freedom. You don't need that. You need more responsible people who aren't suffering in poverty, who can look after themselves. Therefore, the normal stresses of life don't weigh upon the family as much. And even then, you're still going to have wacky motherfuckers just like this who choose to disregard all moral fibers and get themselves hooked to this shit. And this is what you end up with. It's not the drug's fault. It's not the gun's fault. It's the person's fault. You can't forget this. There's going to be time to be upset at any number of things in the future, but it's unnecessary at this point in time. Even though you're not wrong, but it's not the way to look at it. You can't expect a federal agency or an agency, a government institution, to be there to have prevented or fixed these particular things. We're not talking about a broken water main or a shitty pothole on a street. In this particular circumstance, Daniel Martell is to 100% blame, because this is just an escalation from the resentment that one. It was a continuation, because really the resentment that Malaya holds towards Cody was impressed upon Daniel. Pretty soon a false narrative begins in a fantasy life, and Jack and Lily are respected that much less. And there was no respect for Malaya. They were made to feel second class. And instead of actually changing the environment for the better and improving, which you had every opportunity to do for the last 2 years, you kept spiraling down a toilet of substance abuse, and the children continued to be neglected. Yeah, you didn't abuse them. Fuck, you neglected them. You don't consider it abuse. You neglected. You barely fucking paid attention to them. But Logan tells us that you're just helping raise them. Well, what, by proxy? Daniel's a stepdad by proxy. You couldn't even call him a stepdad, for crying out loud. Even stepdad shy. No, there was not. You guys do too much in order to avoid calling one another my boyfriend, my wife, my husband. You call each other a partner, but have the news calling you the father. You know why they're doing that? It's because that's not changing. You guys portrayed yourself to be completely different than you actually are in the lives of the children. And that's evident. You're not their father. You're not their stepfather. Why are you pretending to search again, Daniel? What's so important about the pipeline? What about your boys? What about all of your boys that you helped and brought over in order to confuse and obscure the crime scene as a whole? What's so significant? What happened there at the pipeline? It was never a good sign when these people got in front of you without you knowing them on the news, and they immediately put the blame back onto Jack and Lily. It was Jack and Lily who just decided, like it was another day, like they had work to go to, just to up and go out naked, take their boots, open the sliding door, and never to be seen again. That's where the story goes wrong. That'll never sit well with any detective anywhere. And that's how they know it's worth building this case. But they have to do it in a certain way. I understand. If they have to walk a tightrope, and if that means these son of a bitches being free for 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, before you make your move, well, that's what has to happen, unfortunately.
I'm not sure. And this is the type of situation that I've never been in.
Like I mean.
And he has proved himself over and over again. So, an CPS issue with...
Daniel has proven himself over and over again. Proved? How's that vocabulary working there, Logan?
We live in a small community where...
This is absolutely Logan, guys. Logan, why are you making false reports? Somebody want to get onto the tip line to the RCMP, do the side-by-side, send them a file, email, and let them know that Logan is actively making false reports around social media. Add that to the repertoire. Little heads up. Here's the heads up play of the day. 100x long on this one.
We're very close knit. Like everybody knows each other. All the kids, they all go to either the Catholic or the public school.
Wow. Wow. So close knit. Kids all go to school together.
Yes, there is some similarity between words or hand.
And I took my boys there. I have 3 kids, 3 little boys. And there was this guy that was there, and he was very, like, strange looking. Like, have you ever seen that movie Men in Black?
Oh my God. Fucking me.
This is kind of not my spot to say, so what goes on there, but no, from what I understand, and this is the only thing I'm going to say about it, is I believe it is CPS that is doing this right now.
So is it Malaya or is it Malaya's mom that...
What's really funny about all this, wouldn't you feel a little bizarre? Wouldn't you feel odd about even talking about somebody else's personal business like this in a public setting, like on somebody's YouTube channel? Why would I ever be up at any fucking point in time talking about somebody else's situation like this? Why is Logan? Why is Logan even out interfering in all of this? Because she's doing it on behalf of Daniel and Janie. Oh yeah. We need you to go out and be our Durwood, baby.
Has access to the little one right now.
The baby, Meadow is in custody of her mother. Like okay. Malaya has custody of Meadow at the moment.
I don't understand why they wouldn't allow Daniel access.
No, Christian, you're not getting it? You don't know? It's not. It's kind of a hypothetical. It's not really a question you need to answer. But like, the point is made with the question, in not a Janie sort of way. Like, there's really no reason to be talking with such a serious situation. Why would you even go up there and want to contribute to any of the misinformation, disinformation in the first place on the topic? She's up there, and her intent and priority is to defend Daniel at all costs, to the point where it's just so blatantly obvious. Like, we asked, about the breakup, and the only thing that you can come up with is how fantastic of a relationship that you perceive that they had. Completely off the hook, honey.
I don't understand why, if this is a case...
Malaya has the baby.
Exactly.
Unless
she made allegations of domestic abuse. But
Oh yeah. There's all of that going on too. Of course there is. Of course there is.
Even let it have to go to family court, and he should be allowed at minimal right now supervised access.
Absolutely, we've been going through all that, but as of right now,
why is Logan so involved in getting him supervised access? See, she's associating herself with Daniel's camp. Do you get it? Like, there's a little rah cheerleading squad going on in the background. She's all this we stuff now. See, it's got to be from Daniel and Janie. No different than the shit that they had Malaya say in front of the camera and the use of the we. Okay, that's inferring somebody else is programming you with what to say, and you're turning around and making it look like you're all the same entity in this to obscure any sort of suspicion. Oh, any further questioning, any more detailed questions?
we're working on that. So that's something I don't really want to discuss is...
You're working on it. You're working on all of this stuff. How Daniel? Why would this hoe be involved in any situation that had to do with Meadow or Jack and Lily or anything? The answer is there is no reason. It's out of place. Does Logan have a sister at the pond? I don't know. Maybe. She's got a nasty fucking mother. She's got one nasty hoe of a mo. Absolutely. Fat ass old man. Nasty ass mom. You know, her mom could have made that call from Regina for sure. They sound exactly alike. Maybe it's her mom. Is that what you're getting at in my chat? Good idea. Maybe. She's up throwing hands. She's up and throwing hands in the driveway against like Malaya's family in this sense on a day that is so important, a day that's so strange. Allegedly strange. You can hear the tipster's voice waver with nervousness, the pawn says. You hear something.
Like his doings with the children at the moment.
Right. And that's fair enough.
Don't want to question you any further.
And I don't believe she's met anybody else. Like I said she felt the safest in everything there. So everybody's saying that maybe she met somebody new. I don't believe that. Her and Daniel were great, so.
Oh, they're just so fucking tight, guys. Like, she's doing some hardcore lying right here. Oh, of course, they were just the happiest couple ever. No, honey, we're here wondering why they broke up. And you continue to tell us how wonderful the relationship was. Clearly, it was not wonderful. That's obvious. Why isn't that? You want to talk about the obvious.
I can't.
So just your gut instinct. What do you think? And if you're not comfortable, that's fine. I mean, what is your gut instinct? What's going on with Malaya? Why is she doing all of this?
A great big gut. She does have a big gut too, but so do I. Mine's getting bigger.
I believe her mother's kind of manipulative. From what
Oh, Cindy, you're manipulative. Isn't it easy for her to get in deep about that? The more I get to know about the situation, the more I recognize that Cindy saw something early on that she took control of the situation because she knows that, one, that her daughter was being coerced. She had to step in like a good woman should in that circumstance. She did something very good in a time that was very bad. She recognized and she removed her daughter from the scenario and Meadow, her grandchild. Logan was active wanting to traffic her. Listen, this is the plans. She was going to come stay with me. Yeah. And then what?
I've seen of her.
Why would the mom want to do this?
I don't know. But
You don't know. That's enough disinformation for you. You sure you don't want to throw out your opinion? You don't seem too shy about offering up any other opinion any other time, especially up in that group. Lori Green, there's another dud saying the same thing. A friend of this loony woman goes by the name of Caroline. If you see an account out there talking smack, make sure you just ban it. Get it out of my chat. Caroline. We'll keep an eye out. Thank you very much, Sapon. What's Belinda saying? Let me see here. Belinda, I don't believe so, Lola. She had to put her number in Malaya's phone. Yeah, exactly. She wasn't... The fact that she is telling you that she had to put her number in the phone tells you that they're not on speaking terms. They don't know one another. They're not friends. So why all of a sudden are you going to come gaslighting or love bombing her at that time, wanting to do anything for her? Well, she's doing this all at the behest of Janie and Daniel. Janie especially. Brian, you're not leaving, are you? Oh, you have to go? Have I bored you? You have a good day. JJ, I have an important question. Was there a pirate obsession for Malaya or Johnny Depp fantasy? I have no idea. I don't know. Yeah, Lori, the script writer needs sacked. Well, it can be effective. It's dazzling you with bullshit. The pawn, somebody from Regina would have a completely different accent. Well, Logan doesn't really have much of an accent to begin with, especially an East Coast one. You can get a little bit of it, but she can control it, I think. It's probably why she thinks she's smart. What's shaking, Charmaine? Is it true you and Kent are romantically involved?
What I've met of the mother, I've been Daniel and her have been together 3 years. This is the first time I have ever met the mother, and like I said, and you know when you get vibes from people you know. Even when I was putting my phone number in Malaya's phone for her, when she was leaving, her mother seemed like I was doing something wrong.
Oh, was that right? Well, that's interesting. JJ, because Johnny Depp's kids are named Lily and Jack? Maybe. Well, maybe there's something to it, JJ. I don't know. Interesting observation. That's a question maybe for, I don't know, maybe Belinda would know. But she hasn't. I don't know if they were on that level.
Like, she was like, what are you doing with Malaya's phone? Like, what are you doing? I said, I'm giving her my number so she has me to call. Like, I'm a safe place. Like, why are you being so...
It's a little late now there, honey baby. All of a sudden, Logan comes at the 11th hour and says, hey, you ever need a safe house, you come see me. After the kids are fucking gone, made missing. You know, they're on the outs. There's an absolute situation at hand. Now is far too late to be offering any sort of help. Like, tells you the type of person that she is, right? You're completely clueless. Or she's just that bad of a liar and I'm just reacting to it. She says, why? What? Logan, you are a scumbag, honey. You are a scummy broad in all of this. Talk about all of the times to mind your own fucking business. You mind your own business when you're related to somebody like that, and you can't do anything of the sort. You have to do the opposite. It tells me that Daniel and Janie are really influencing you to get out here and talk on their behalf. And maybe an idiot, maybe morons might be falling for that. You don't think there's something suspicious about somebody who wants to share with you all kinds of valuable information and not the public narrative? And it changes under the guise of wanting to protect the investigation into a missing child? Make that 2 of them. That makes no sense. And Daniel, the fact that you portray that on a continuous basis tells us that you are guilty. But we'll use the right term and say withholding guilty knowledge. But you're guilty of something. I don't mind going far beyond that. I know you are. And we're going to find out. None of that's actually important to bring your ass in for a long prison sentence. Then what's your buddy Kent going to say? Is Kent going to be allowed to do the prison interviews with you? Oh, Daniel. What is there going to be to talk about? You're telling me somebody in that household isn't mentally stable? Would it be the one that's cooking meth or the one who's living in that fucking Tweakerville 35-foot trailer in the back? That RV, that broken down RV, Janie. Like, how much lipstick do you want to put on that goddamn place? You built the gaudiest looking fence and you continue to build that fence and it doesn't make the place look any better. It looks like shit. It's horrible. A match couldn't fix that place. Nasty fucking place. Nasty trailer. No wonder you guys were so goddamn grumpy. Look at how you're living. Getting on each other's fucking nerves. You got Janie out back at all points in time. Oh my God. Oh my God. Could you imagine anybody having their mother living in an RV in the driveway? Holy Hannah, what the fuck have I done in my life to deserve this? It's not like Janie is just this wonderful little saint of a woman. This is a true fucking lunatic psycho bitch. Going crazy, interpreting life through the lens of her dog that she has there locked in that damn thing all the time. What's the point of the fence? You're in the middle of the fucking country. Okay? You're in the middle of nowhere. You guys are tweaking out over these fences. So obviously, there has to be a reason. People fighting over their territory. You guys can't come past here. Yeah, I think there's a lot of that going on. A lot of weird rules being enacted. So fucking weird. People are going on like it's nothing. Like, come on. Listen. First off, that's her house. Why is she living in the RV? By the way, she's not anymore, by the way. As soon as the kids were gone, she moved back in with Daniel, especially that first night. And WTF number 2 there. You had to have your mommy there? What was she doing? Was she crushing up this? Was she crushing things up before you snorted them? What the hell is up with you guys? You're too close at the wrong points in time. Like, no way. You're not that close with your mother, Norman. Old Granny's got a real hand in all of this. Why was she avoiding everybody that day? I'm surprised that she wasn't handing out hors d'oeuvres. You think so, Silver? She does remind me a bit of a lady of the night in that sense, from like the 1800s. Like a hoe selling her ass on all of these weird websites. She's probably got a whole hustle going on. Silver says, I love Kent. He just is frustrated because Janie charged him for services rendered. I think I get what you're saying. Business isn't very good. Holy shit. Maybe she's really into recycling. Keep the bears out. That's dinner. You mean dinner? Bear comes over my land. Bear's good. I had bear that tasted like blueberries. Bear meat had a blueberry flavor to it. Because the damn bear was eating too many blueberries. Didn't realize how good they tasted.
So nosy on what I'm doing to your daughter's phone. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, why? But when I did try to call Malaya afterwards, like on that Sunday, to check on Meadow and to check on her, she answered. And as soon as she answered, what I got was, I said, how is Meadow?
Sal, it's me. We're on a cryptid line. How's Meadow? All of a sudden she wants to be your friend now? And she wants to introduce it now that it's just so weird, so suspicious. Malaya's acting so weird that she just wants to, disassociate with us. She wants to sever our forever communications. It's done. It's over. Sayonara. You know this awesome, fabulous relationship you're talking about?
She goes, Meadow is fine. And then I hear in the background, who are you talking to? Hang that phone up.
So she's very toxic. Yeah.
Yes. So then when I called back the next time, because I'm very persistent, I'm going to call the next day, my number was blocked. So,
well, la-di-da.
So, little trick on your phone, if you're blocked, you can private your number and it will still go through.
And she's a brainiac. She's a smart one. She pulled the old star 6-7. That's been around since the 1950s, you know. Little trick, friends. Don't know about it, but I got a little trick for you. You want to block my number? I'm gonna try this. Wait till we fire RTC on her ass. I like to call you Logan and spoof my number. I'll call you under the Children's Aid Society, and I'll call you up and I'll get all kinds of information out of you. Little trick there. Little trick with the telephones. Fucking with the phones. Star 6-7 your ass. You don't want that. You don't want any of that. Oh no, she didn't. Like, what do you have to do to get a hint? What do you got to do with this one? You're a bit too insistent, I'd say. Like, what's up with this weirdo bitch wanting to traffic my daughter Meadow at this point in time? You don't go out to a complete stranger, Logan, and you're trying to make it look like she's the one that's doing something bizarre, when it's your behavior that's more bizarre in this circumstance, above and beyond everything. You're just trying to make it look like your experience, if it was indeed true, was making her out to look suspect in a circumstance where everybody's standing there looking at Daniel. And they always will, by the way.
So I did call, but I didn't say anything because I wanted to see who would answer the phone. Her mother answered the phone, and she...
Like, when are you going to get the hint, Logan, that they don't want to talk to you? So then you gave them the vindictive call. You're like, I'm not going to have any of that, bitch. Nobody ignores me. I'm Logan. You're going to star 6-7 and then call them back and prank them? And just hang up? So you didn't actually want anything. You didn't actually want to know anything. Why wouldn't you just start talking at that point? That would be persistent. You called them back and just hung up to prove what? It just tells you the type of person she is. Like, what a nut. Thank God you're not my girlfriend. Fucking Karen. That's probably what they were all saying. You're this fat fucking Karen walking around there wanting to make this all... You're the liaison. You're the speaker. No, I'm going to step in between the suspects in the world. I'm going to step in between and have to be a part of this. I'm here to help you all. I've barely known you, especially the last 2 years. But I know of you, and I'm pretty sure that your relationship is just tickety-boo because you, spent a lot of time together, had a child together. You guys must be just so in love. I'm going to be around for a little bit. My name's Logan. So why is it after all of this tragedy has happened does she insist about putting her number in Malaya's phone? Yeah. Like, it speaks to what I believe, in my opinion, I guess, at this point in time, how overall this whole lot treated Malaya and Jack and Lily. They're probably treating you like shit since the get-go. Imagine being around these idiots. Fuck, what a bunch of fucking weirdos. And you've got this Kent idiot doing commercials for traveling, trying to attract people into Pictou County to travel. Holy shit, I think I've fucking seen enough. Friends, you're seeing exactly why people get the hell out of the East Coast. East Coast's a beautiful place with lots of great people, don't get me wrong. What a kook. I'd cut all contact too if my kids went missing when my boyfriend was awake all night. You know? That's a great thought, the pond. So, hey, Logan, what do you think about Daniel's methamphetamine addiction? How do you think that's impacted Jack and Lily's life for the last 2 years? There's a question you guys can ask there up in the uncensored group, because that question would be uncensored. Do you guys think I should go up and post that right now or what? Actually, that's a good idea. Maybe that's too provocative. I'm going to think about that for a few minutes. Who's the owner of this group? Maybe he'll yell at me like he yelled at this other woman, telling me not to make this all about drama. No, I'm not making it about drama. We're making it about your meth addiction, bro. I'm going to do that. I'm going to have to make a video about it first. I'm going to make a video about it and do it. That way I can get more out of it. Yeah, I'm thinking I could do that, actually. I'm going to start some conversations up in this group. We'll see what sort of conversations we can steer. Let's talk about something a little bit more interesting, shall we, Logan? Like, what a fucking moron. Like, you're not even genuinely concerned about the situation. You're concerned about Daniel and how wonderful and how he's proven himself. Proven himself. Like, what is he, a third baseman? Is he on his way up to the bigs? Is he gonna win the title? What the fuck? What group am I talking about? Truth and Beauty? I'm gonna go up and ask this one right here. This one right here. Oh shit. How do I do that? This one. Go back. There we go. This one here. So why did Malaya leave Daniel? Let's have a bit of a look-see. Callie Gibson's post. It all comes back to this question. Why did Malaya leave Daniel? You know what she does? And God bless Callie. I'm not shitting on her for it, because you should be doing this. You should be sitting up there in this group and listening to Mike DeMann and listening to like Ninchi True Crime or myself. And whenever you're back and you a question that you want, a question pops into your mind, go and post it in this group, because Daniel and Janie just love to respond to everybody that comments. And this one has like 430 comments. Like, it's a wealth of conversation underneath there. Not that, even if 10 or 15% of it is worth reading and the rest is just people getting in their emotions and wanting to side up and white knight for somebody else because they're sucked into this goddamn DARPA project called Facebook. All right? We're not. We go over there and do our thing. And God bless Callie for posting this, because it give me an idea. But it's a lot easier when somebody does it on their own randomly. It's great. It's great because Daniel gets all up in the comments and, goes through this script of his that he's developed and fabricated over the past few months. Is he on the catnip? No, it's worse than that. He's on the chocolate. He's on the Nazi chocolate. Darlene saying she's up in there. I called up the Lily Jack profile, which is Logan as well. So much misinformation on that Facebook page. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. They need a place to go and feel better about themselves because they're so fucking terrified of being caught for this. They've already been caught. You've exposed yourself. It's just a matter of time, you fools. Look, we all know that. And it's your time in freedom isn't going to be very pleasurable, because no matter what it is you come out and say at this point in time, it makes you look worse. The time to speak was then. When? Now. Now? Then. It's an absolute shit show. Says Linda, I do not advise anyone joining that chat. Oh, yeah. Listen, don't get yourself involved in these people unless it's for a reason, like to go up and post questions like that to get under Daniel's skin or to get him talking. But the fact is he's walking around this chat like he's somebody. Daniel, you're a little bitch. Okay? You killed 2 children, aged 4 and 6. You did. Nobody else. I'm also wondering about the L-shaped pipe coming out of the trailer. Oh, the stovepipe? Yes, because they didn't want to spend the extra probably $80. You know that stovepipe's expensive. Certainly not the insulation. It's just a straight pipe coming out the end. Usually, you know, when you have a proper fire, there's a calculation on how much stovepipe you should have. Usually take that up by putting a 90 at the end of it and get the smoke up on beyond, you know, just outside your side door. The only way that you do that is if you're making something that was heavier than air. That you had to get out of there. You're making a little bit of a clean room for your concoctions, for your shake and bake. That way you just get it out in a 90. That way it drop right to the ground. As opposed to up and then back down into the camper. Especially if you had an exhaust fan on it. We don't know what's on the inside because Janie hasn't allowed us into her humble abode. Thank God. Fuck, that would be traumatic. God, you guys could have stayed with Janie that night. I don't know why you guys didn't. Let me see here. Where's Logan?
Yeah.
She went Malaya's phone, so I did not talk, and I just hung up the phone because I knew I wasn't going to get anywhere. You're a 27-year-old, because I'm very persistent. I'm going to call the next day. My number was blocked. So, you know.
The audacity of her blocking your number. Thank God you put that number in there so she could block it. Now she knows which one to block.
Little trick on your phone. If you're blocked, you can private your number and it will still go through. So I did call, but I didn't say anything because I wanted to see who.
So I called and I didn't say anything. Well, what did you call the first time for? She was so shook. She was so pissed off, shook, traumatized, PTSD moment. She can't even handle it. She can't handle being blocked. You can't unfriend me. You can't block me. I'll get you. It was a vengeance call. What did you call her in the first place for? I thought your concern was for Meadow. So then you're going to go extra sneaky and say, fuck her. Because as soon as you prank her, number one, it's a little obvious. Not to the person who's already blocked your number, though. But it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter that she answered, but the fact that you didn't say anything, what was your intent in calling in the first place? Logan knows all the sneaky ways to get around things. a bit of a criminal mind. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Good call on that.
Who would answer the phone? Her mother answered the phone, and she went Malaya's phone, so I did not talk, and I just hung up the phone because.
Well, isn't that nice of her? At least she's giving her daughter some respect and calling her by her name. That's a change.
I knew I wasn't going to get anywhere. You're a 27-year-old girl and your mother has custody of your phone. I think there's an issue there.
What? Uh-oh, hold on.
Uh-oh, retard alert.
Retard alert.
Class.
That's right, friends. We got a retard alert. Hey, Logan, what do you think Janie and Daniel are? Janie lives in the goddamn driveway of her own trailer. What's Daniel doing? In there sucking off his mom's. And you're talking about having custody of a phone? She just answered her phone for her. He said Malaya's phone, and you're talking about her of having custody? She just answered it. Because she's protecting her daughter who's just been through it, because obviously the priority here are Jack and Lily, and she's a little bit more closer to the scenario than yourself. So why are you identifying things that are off? Who the fuck are you to be involved? Like, who are you to even be calling her at that point in time? What is it you wanted? We know what you wanted. You called her up and you wouldn't say anything.
Interesting. She seems very toxic to me, and Like I said, yes, very controlling, and that's what how Daniel has described her to me because I've asked about her.
Yeah.
Jack, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah. Don't you realize Malaya would have been saying to her mom, "You answer. I don't want to talk to her." Well, why even let your mind go there? Don't even allow it, Amanda. Don't buy any of this nonsense. Like, what a load of fucking shit. And guess whose channel it is? Oh my God.
And you know the one guy like that has like the alien in his brain or whatever, like he was very big, like he had red hair. I can describe him to a T.
Yeah, I bet you this Regina call, she's packing a few pounds too. You can tell. She's a bit winded when she speaks. She's a biggin. Just like Logan. You like the smell of chrome polish? That's too much.
Baby. No, it's time to go to bed, baby. That 3-hour late nap was not a great idea. I'm sorry.
What kind of mother on a normal routine allows their child to have an afternoon nap of 3 hours and expect them to go to bed at night? Oh, I have to let you in as to all of my parenting practices. I'm such a fantastic parent. I think I am. Oh, yes. Oh, my friends, I know what I'm speaking about. I've got a family of my own. I'm related to the double child murderer. Daniel and Malaya's relationship. Oh, so amazing. So amazing. They spent some time together and then they had a baby together. Yeah, nothing wrong. Nothing that I can tell was wrong. Everything was just so happy. How could you even start speaking that way when, you know, the obvious, the reason that everybody's there is Jack and Lily to begin with. And she spends her time talking all about this. Daniel. And how Malaya is so questionable and how Cindy's just so controlling. It sounds to me like they were resentful over something that happened at the end of their driveway that day, and they're spending their time trying to shit talk and disinform and spread rumors online about other people based on that. They don't like being accused out like they were in their driveway, so they spend their time accusing Malaya and everybody in front of the camera as a way to intimidate them into silence, or specifically Malaya. It's not working. Didn't work. Certainly with Wade. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Lindsay. Amazing description, definitely would say to a T. These people are ridiculous, and it's sad the fact they distract from the truth. F them. Absolutely. It's how I opened up this show. Fuck that bitch. Fuck them. Absolutely. They spend all of their time trying to, have people think in concert across social media about their immediate situation. They have a need to do that. That's a problem. I got a problem with this Logan. Those shoes suck, Rob. Amazing. Let me see. Who says I conversed? I surveyed the culverts. And who writes this stuff? He surveyed all of the culverts. Wow. He's a real man of the fucking wilderness. Yeah, you can converse with her. Yeah. It does sound like Logan to end that. It does sound a lot like Logan, but who's to say? They have to be related. I wonder if it is her mom. I wonder what her mom sounds like. Her mom's got to be a big one. I bet you she's a huge chick. She's probably rolling. Maybe I was snooping. A big mama. A biggin. I think Malaya... You think Malaya told him she was out of there first thing, so he did what he did to get back of her? I think you're on the right track, Amanda Graham. Thank you for bringing us back. Digressing. Yeah, I think you are driving home a valuable point. Yeah, that was definitely, he's avoiding talking directly about that, obviously, and there's a sensitivity because you can get that from, well, that post that we were just looking at on Facebook. We'll come back and talk about that on a second show, though. We got too distracted with this Logan thing today. So we'll come back. What time is it? It's only 3 p.m. 3 p.m. We'll be back after dinner. We'll be back after dinner on this Saturday night. And we'll talk about maybe a couple posts that we're going to put up in this uncensored group. A question. I appreciate you guys sticking it through for this 3 hours. We're going to go get some food and some rest. And we'll be back with you. Keep talking about the situation. Oh, okay. Exit with some G-funk. Waka waka waka. This is homicide detective music.